What is your favorite event? Do you like mixed doubles more or women's doubles?
Women's.
Really? Why?
Right now in mixed, I just feel a little bit lost on that right side. Like I don't know my role. I feel like I do better when I'm a bigger presence on the court, just like with my stature. But in mixed, you're kind of, I don't know. I don't know
I
the
know what
right
you
word.
mean. I think the listeners could probably agree. You're just an alpha. You're an alpha female, and you're not mixed isn't for you. You like to take over and assert dominance at any moment that you can. Okay, so everyone, we have Vivian Glozman on the podcast again. As you may know, I had like 15 or 20 people, which is a lot for me. Tell
Hey,
me,
it increased from 10 last time.
I think it was. I had at least 15 tell me that my podcast with Vivian was the funniest podcast they've ever seen. And Vivian wasn't trying to be funny, I don't think. So, or maybe she was. I don't really know. Nobody really knows. But this is kind of important because I had so many people begging to get you back on. I didn't really want to, but I was like, okay, whatever. Just kidding. So, anyways, thank you for coming on.
Thank you again for having me. This is exciting.
So, Vivian, for people who don't know, got to the finals of the challenge, no, semifinals of the Challenger, and was with the Breakers. And I don't know if this is probably going to be your last time in Challenger because I think you're going to go Premier in July. That's what I've had. A bunch of people are saying that.
I don't Okay, I don't know where you get your sources or if you just like talking and spreading false rumors.
I don't know. I think you're going to, I mean, if you haven't seen Vivian play, she's like got so much power and she uses the softest paddle ever. I was playing like some skinny singles practice points with her while like Scott Crandall was coaching her and her other friend I don't remember her name, but basically was
And Dominique
watching.
Schaefer.
Is that who that is? Who knows? And so basically Vivian has like ridiculously fast hands and a ton of power, and she's like probably going to be top 5 in my opinion. But we just don't know when that's going to be. So who knows if she's going to get drafted? I mean, do you not think you're going to get drafted for Premier?
I I don't after MLP I was humbled, definitely humbled, and I realized there's a lot of good people in the running and like not that many spots open. So I'm setting my expectations really low so that I can be happy either way. But a lot of good people out there, so we'll see. We'll see on July 12th.
It's tough though. I mean, you're playing mixed with Christian Alshon. Like that's not easy, you know?
Oh, Christian's good.
You have to
Christian's good. Even though you have beef with him, he's good.
you got to carry. I mean, and you guys still got some wins, right? You took him to some wins.
We actually won everything until the end.
That's crazy. That shows a lot more about you than Christian. I mean,
No, no. Okay. Am I like here to like defend Christian? No, me and Christian actually did really well. He's really nice and played well. Like all the games in our pool play were really fun. Like I wasn't expecting, I think my expectations are pretty low. So that's what I've learned in pickleball. If you keep your expectations low, you're always going to be happy. So everyone asks me, they're like, Vivian, you're always smiling out there. I'm like, I've learned my first tournament ever in Mesa. I lost. And I think because I went into it with really, really high expectations, having like no experience at all and like no knowledge of pickleball. And I was like, the star of Seattle. And I came in and we lost and I started crying. And that was embarrassing for me because I was like, I thought I left my crying days in the. Why am I crying about pickleball? So ever since that tournament, I adjusted my expectations and now I'm having a lot of fun.
good. Well, that is good. I mean, I saw you were playing. One thing that I noticed is I don't know if you really dink down the line. I saw you hit like 100 dinks and they all went cross court. And Anna said this. She's like, I don't know if somebody needs to tell Vivian like You don't
Oh,
have to cross.
told me as soon as we played together at North Carolina, that was the first, she sent me a list of like 15 things I need to work on. And at the top of the list, she said it was loosely ordered. She said not ordered by priority, but few of the bullets were mix up your dinks, mix up your drops. And she even shared on one of her podcasts, she was like, I told Vivian to mix up the dinks, and Vivian asked me if I meant mix it up cross court, like a little more cross court and a little less cross court.
What?
No, I've been working on it. I think I hit a few down the lines, a few more than my first tournament. So it's okay. We're working on it. And this tournament, they put me on the right with Christian, obviously, and then with Eva. So I got a lot of right practice, and I'm still on track to be a right side specialist.
Okay. Right side specialist.
Yeah.
I didn't see any down the line dinks. I must have missed them. But
you missed them. You probably closed your eyes.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. I believe you. And your Dream Breaker, I mean, I saw you hit a huge backhand down the line winner in the Dream Breaker. I didn't see much else.
That was all you needed to see.
Okay.
I think that was the only point I won. So that was good that you caught that.
Well, it's probably good that you went in and got like some like right off the bat, you go to like a great team, you get to the semis, then you play the super final. Like that's good experience.
Definitely. It was fun.
And did you get to play any mixed with Pablo, or were you stuck with Christian?
No, so I did practice with him the few days leading up to the tournament, and they decided that it would be best because Eva played with Pablo for the other two events just to keep them together. And then I basically just replaced Rachel on the right side in women's and on the right side with Christian. And that was fine. Rachel reached out to me and she was like, you got this. And I was like, man, we really need you here. Yeah, I don't know. They were pretty solid together, but it was a fun experience. And I hope everyone else had fun. It was fun for me.
One other thing that the people don't know is, I don't know if I'm supposed to like say this, but you said that you're considering moving to Florida, right? Is that, or are you gonna move to Florida, or like?
Yeah, I think it's in the works to move. Just because there's nobody in Seattle. No offense to everybody watching who's from Seattle, but it's a little tough, and like in the winter time, like we have to play indoors, and bookings are just, it's hard because we share with tennis people, and you know how tennis people are with pickleball. So I think to move somewhere where there's more court availability and like more players to play with every day would be smart, especially because I'm done working. I don't know if I told you, like this month was my last month of working. So no real reason. Say it again.
You're full-time pickleballer.
Full-time. I'm full-time. Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. What?
I just said it was a good choice. Good choice.
Oh, good choice. Yeah. No, yeah, everyone, all my coworkers were so supportive. They were like, you know what, you're young, go for it. Do whatever you want. So yeah, I'm kind of happy about it. The last month I've been here in California, literally I've been home for like 4 days out of the month. It's just been super great. I want to give a huge shout out to Jeff Wynn. He's been so great taking care of all of us and just really nice person. Yeah.
That's nice.
Was I saying something? Because the fans are going to get mad at me for going on a tangent and then not finishing my story.
That's why you're here. That's
no.
One of the things is.
Oh wait, okay, no, but before I forget, for those loyal listeners who remember from the first podcast where I mentioned Susie and never finished the story, I'm gonna finish it here. And so this will be like a little bonus and incentivize people to watch both of them. But
should you basically finish it now, or should you finish it at the end?
No, now.
You're gonna do it right now?
Right now.
Could you give the listeners like some context?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
So basically, in the last episode with me and James asked me what I was gonna do for jobs or whatever. I said I wanted to pick up a part-time job. And then you said something like, you don't need a job, you're gonna be good at pickleball, or maybe just be a stand-up comedian, something along those lines.
Yes.
And that's when I thought of Susie, because that had just happened that day. And so my friend from the academy texted me why the girl didn't like me. And the reason she didn't like me is because she said, Vivian is never serious. I could never have a serious conversation with Vivian. And that made me laugh so much because the tension kept building. And the reason for her not liking me was so unknown and like so weird. Why did this girl have beef with me? And so when he texted me that about her, I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, the reason people don't like me is because I'm not serious enough. I was like, oh my gosh. That was actually a compliment. I thought I like did something mean, or I couldn't think of anything. So for people to hate me because I'm too funny and too just amazing is just a compliment. Thank you, Susie. Anyway, finishing that, cutting that, but hopefully that gives people some closure because they were kind of mad at me. They're like, Vivian never finishes her stories. Don't keep her on the podcast. I was like, sheesh, okay. But yeah.
It was, well, it's funny because all the greats, only the great ones have haters, right? And that's you, because
You ain't got haters, you're doing something wrong.
Totally agree. And for me, like, I did a podcast with, I don't know, I think it was Adam Stone, who's like a great commentator, great at, like, he's a great guy, but it was a pretty boring, cut and dry podcast. No tangents, no Vivian Glozman-esque tangents, very normal. We had like 10 comments and they were just like, nice, great.
You know what we should, like, these podcasts need more like fan interaction. So
They do.
like maybe post on your story and be like, oh, I'm having this person on. What do you want to ask them? Or what do you want me to ask them?
Oh, that's a good idea.
It'll be like, I don't know. I think those are cool.
Let me write that down.
Also,
just kidding.
What?
I'm going to write that down. That's a good idea.
And especially because you have such a large following for whatever reason. I don't know, but they want to hear from you and see what you're up to. So I think you'd get a lot of engagement. Also, I just lost you in the camp counselor thing.
Let's go. Oh, let me give some context on what that is. So basically,
okay, go.
There's this like Instagram or Twitter account that's got like 100 followers. It's like a totally random. It's like pro pickleball fanatics, right? So who knows? Even it's probably like 2 fanatics that just watch pickleball, but they know who you are, so they must be pretty involved. And just kidding. So basically, we have us all in this draw of like camp counselors. So like, me versus Georgia Johnson, I think was first round. And it was like, who would you rather have as your camp counselor? And then I won, which was crazy. I actually voted for Georgia. And then I went against Vivian and I voted for you and I still won. And now I'm going.
I was at dinner too. And I pulled it up. I pulled up the story. I said, did you guys all vote for me? And they're like, no, what is that? So they all went and voted for me. And then they all went to their second accounts and voted for me. And they all went to their third accounts and voted for me. And they're like, why is it staying at 45%?
Wow.
So you were just heavy on the phone. So bad. And then I responded to the guy or girl, I don't know, they, them, the pro pickleball fanatics. And I said, is it narcissistic that I voted for myself twice? They're like, no, everybody's voting for themselves. So I guess you were just generous and, good karma came back to you, but whatever.
But here's
you're getting crushed by Anna right now.
I know. And I voted for myself. So clearly there's something, it's me. It's my fault. I don't know why. And it's like, but the ratings are messed up. Like she got like a 4 outdoorsy rating, which is fair because she did her like trail, like her,
yeah, that little small trail. Yeah,
walked around like a town in California 3 or 4 times and said it was a trail. I don't know, Pacific Coast Trail, whatever it was. And then she got like a 4 for like, I don't even know, like book read, like I don't know, like some weird ratings, right? And then I got like a 2 for everything. And then it's like X Factor. It's like, I don't even know what X Factor is, but I got like a 6. And everybody else has like a 3. So these
X Factor is that little boost of something that pushes you over the edge. So that's actually a good thing. So even if you lack in every other area, that makes up for it.
I'm like behind in everything. And then they're just like, well, James somehow made it to the semis. We got to give him something. We'll just X Factor. Just give him an X Factor. What is X Factor? I don't know, but I guess I have it. And I'm losing I'm losing 70% to 30% or something. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. Not good.
Anyways, so that's going on. Here's a fun fact for the listeners at home. For every podcast I do, I have like a list of questions. Like, okay, ask him this question, then ask him this question. For this podcast, I have no questions. I couldn't be less prepared because I have that much confidence in Vivian to just carry this podcast that I'm just going to leave it up to you. Do you have any questions?
Well, I actually didn't come prepared like last time either, but no, I don't have anything.
I'll ask you that. Oh,
I
you have something
am
good.
playing the Newport APP this weekend. I don't know
Oh,
if anybody cares about APPs these days, but
what is the APP? I'm just kidding.
who?
Who are your,
Oh,
who are
well, do you
your
want to? Do
partners?
you want? Okay, my partners. I'm playing with Alex Strong for women's and Brendan Long for mixed.
Oh,
So I'm trying to get my first medal.
those
That
are
would be
good
really
partners.
exciting. Yeah, they're good. So I think that'd be a good little goal to have. Um, yeah, I don't really have anything else that's interesting, but I'm here in Jeff's house. It's really nice. I would give you a house tour, but that's probably kind of invasive. But you guys can see outside. I can show you. Let me get situated here, but if
Where are
this
we
will
about
work,
to see?
I can show you outside where all the pros are playing. Can you see anything?
Oh,
Well, I
that's
could just
crazy.
like take this outside, but I didn't want to bother them because, oh gosh, the lighting is so bad now.
Who's playing out there right now?
Oh no, wait, can
The
this be
lighting's
fixed?
fine. I can see you pretty well.
Did it become dark all of a sudden?
Yeah, but
Oh, okay. So right now there's Hayden and Jesse and Rachel and Lacey and Zach Taylor and Shelby Bates. And then I think so Brendan's coming in a bit, in like 20 minutes. We're gonna practice some mixed doubles and I don't know, some other cool people. I really like Hayden and I like everyone out there.
what is your favorite event? Do you like mixed doubles more or women's doubles?
Women's.
Really? Why? Oh,
Oh
you
no,
froze.
you're frozen. Wait,
Oh,
you're
you
frozen. Did you
froze.
hear what I said?
I thought you froze.
Oh, was I frozen?
I think on my screen you were frozen.
Oh, I like women's more. Can
Why
you
do
hear
you?
me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why?
okay, okay. Um, right now in mixed, I just feel a little bit lost on that right side. Like like I don't know my role. I feel like I do better when I'm a bigger presence on the court, just like with my stature. Um,
Yeah.
but in mixed, you're kind of, I don't know. I don't know
I
the
know
right
what you mean.
word.
I think the listeners could probably agree. You're just an alpha. You're an alpha female, and you're not mixed isn't for you. You like to take over and assert dominance at any moment that you can.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I'm trying to be better at my beta role.
Okay.
90% Christian, 10% Vivian, which was totally fine because he was doing really great, but it was still a little awkward. Like when it would come to me, I'm like, do I speed up? Do I like stay beta the whole time? Like, I don't know. And so I'm still learning the nuances there. But women's, I feel a little more comfortable. Maybe it's the game too, like, because women speed up more and I'm like comfortable when people speed up. And in mixed, there's just a lot of just random things that happen. I don't even I'm just bad at like pattern recognition. So if people actually,
You.
this is interesting. If some people hate being told what to do. For example, Christian will not listen to like what, which is fine. Like he's like great at like self-analyzing. Me, I'm like, tell me everything. So Jessie Irvin just has taken up the coaching role for me. She's just telling me every spot I need to be in, every place I need to hit, every place I should not hit.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Some people are like, Jesse's too bossy or whatever. You know, I'm sure Jesse knows this, so this is not new information. But if people want to tell me where to be, where to go, where to hit, I'm all for that. So I think that's interesting because a lot of people don't like that.
Well, Jesse actually coached me a lot, like randomly, like last summer. She really she's a good coach. She's somebody that loves to, like some people don't really like the sound of their own voice. Jesse's not one of those people. She loves the sound of her own voice, and that's fine. She's a great coach. She's great. She's a great player, and she loves to talk and hear herself talk, and rarely or infrequently listen to other voices. But those tend to be less important. No, she's great. And
Right.
she's a good player. She's also a probably top 5 mixed player. So if you want to get more comfortable at mixed, she's way better at mixed in my opinion than, I mean, she's great at women's too, but she's really good at mixed. So yeah, super solid.
Mm.
Um
I'm gonna go out there and ask her for some tips,
yeah, you might want to
some mixed tips.
set a timer, like after 2 minutes, Jesse, like you got to keep it concise, 2 minutes, then we move on. That's what I would do. But no, she's cool. And Hayden is a stud too. Is it tough? Because Hayden is obviously such a great player, but like in terms of the fact that he's a guy and you're a girl and you're about a foot taller than he is that like a weird dynamic? Like, because me, when I talk to Hayden, it's kind of like I'm looking at my son. It's like a nice child, and it's like a little weird because like he's my peer. What's your take on that?
Right. Well, he's not your peer. He owns you, actually.
Mhm.
Right?
He's my daddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it. No, I've actually not interacted with Hayden that much. I just kind of like idolize him from afar. And I was here last week actually. No, serious. I don't think he knows like how much I idolize him. He's like, who is this girl? No, but I was talking to coach in that room
Hmm.
through that corridor, and he would like pop his head in and he's like, you're still talking? And then Coach Scott, sorry, did I just call him coach? Coach Scott Crandall.
Scott Crandall. He's great.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really cool. But yeah, Hayden was like, stop talking to that man. I'll teach you what you need to be taught. So I'm waiting for that lesson with Hayden. That'd be really cool.
Hmm.
Maybe learn some swag.
Yeah, I
This is
mean,
another thing that I need to ask the fans or the commenters.
mhm.
Is that a word? Anyway, do you guys think when you watch me, I asked this to James last week, if I'm too nice? Like, do I need more Hayden swag? Do I need more like a little oomph, a little meanness? Like, are people gonna just not take me seriously or not think that I'm taking it seriously?
I
That's
don't
another
know.
issue.
I don't know if people are gonna take. I mean, I take you very seriously. No, not really. But like, I think that swag, to wonder if you could ever achieve like Hayden's level of swag, I don't think
No, you
it's
can't.
something you can learn. It's something that you just are born with. And I don't know if either of us are born with that. So I don't even try to have swag. I just go out there and I hit dinks. I'm serious.
I so agree. I know I agree. I agree. I think we were talking about this too, like with social media. I won't name names because that's mean, but some people try to have a bigger social media presence than their swag level
Hmm.
like allows for. I don't know if that makes
I
sense,
wonder
but
who
like
you're referring to. Any teammates on the Breakers?
no, no, no. No, definitely not. I loved all of my teammates.
Hmm.
Shout out Pablo, shout out Christian Alshon, shout out Eva. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce her last name. We put in our paddles for testing and they're like, what's the name? And she went off on her last name. I was like, go off. She was great. She was awesome. I loved all my teammates. Um,
Oh, could I ask you an important question? This is something that the listeners wanted me to ask you. Who are
okay.
your partners for the remainder of this year?
Oh, I don't have like a set partner because everybody likes to plan ahead.
Or for the
But
PPAs? I don't think they were asking about the APPs. They want to know PPAs.
oh yeah, I don't even have any APPs after this lined up. So that's fair. For the next two, I have for the next couple,
Cool.
I'm playing with Tyra for I want to say Cincinnati and Kansas City. I don't know the order of those, but like back to back, I think that'd be like good consistency. And then, oh, Takea. Takea have Millie and Callan. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
cute. And then who else? I think I'm
They're
with
both great.
Tyler Loong for a couple of the later ones for mixed. It's kind of random. It's all over the place. And it kind of sucks to like jump around. But in 2024, I'm hoping to be locked.
Who are
Yeah.
some players that you might want to lock in for 2024? Like if you had a choice, tops on both, like men and women, if you had like a choice.
Well, I am still like learning I don't know how to say it, like
I know what you mean.
game styles, I guess. So I don't know in terms of like, I don't even know what people would consider my game style, like, because I came out and I was like super aggressive, and then people were saying, oh, you play too much like a tennis player, you need to slow things down and dink. And then I would dink and they're like, dang, this girl never speeds up. And that was another thing on Anna's list for me. She's like, you need to learn how to speed up. Because I'm gonna just dink all day, and then people are like, is this girl gonna do anything? So then I started speeding up more. But it's a balance. Anyway, I'm still learning my game style. So when I know who I am, then I can like see, oh, I would be good with this person. So I don't really know. But in terms of people I like I would love to be with Anna, of course. Anna did ask me for a tournament this year. So for the 5th, we're gonna
I
run it
convinced
back
her.
one more time.
You should thank me. I'm the reason she's playing with you. I convinced her. She was like, I don't know. And I was like, no, you should play with Vivian. I convinced her for
Yeah,
like a day. Not a day. I maybe like 5 minutes.
the whole day.
Yeah.
Oh, I also want to let the fans know. I want to let the fans know that Anna so graciously paid for an entire trip to Europe with this man sitting right in front of you. And then, their flights get delayed or canceled or whatever. And he's like, I don't really want to go anyway.
Let me just shortly explain to the listeners at home what actually happened. Just really gotta give them the context. So me and Anna were supposed to go to Europe for like 10 days, and it was gonna be fun. And our hotels weren't paid for. Like I was paying for like half the hotels, she was paying for half. But our flights were all her because she had all these points. So she actually got us a first class trip to Europe. So it was, like I don't know how much it costs for two people to have a first class trip from New York to London, but it's a lot. But she ended up only paying like I think $2,000 because of all of her points, which is still a good amount. Our flight got canceled. Wait, let me explain it. What really happened. We were gonna fly from Houston to New York and then from New York to London. But our flight from Houston to New York, they didn't let us land because there was some sort of like weather holding pattern is what they called it. Like we were just going in circles because we couldn't land. And then the pilot is like, James, we're going to run out of fuel. And I'm like, okay, why are you telling me this first?
The pilot told you specifically.
Yeah, because I was asking him, I was like, dude, why do we keep going in circles? He's like, because I don't know, but he's like, we're running out of fuel. So we had to land in Atlantic City, New Jersey, which is like 3 hours from New York. So it was just horrible. We landed at like 5. We couldn't make our flight, which was at 8. So then we had an opportunity to get another flight like 2 days later. We just canceled it. We said, well, I didn't really want to go in the first place that much. Like I kind of wanted to go, but I was like, I kind of want to just hit dinks. So there's no dinking to be had in England. I tried to find it. There's no pickle at all. So we ended
Do you think pickle will be on grass courts? That would be really cool. How would that
they would
work?
have to make new balls.
That is so interesting. I actually never played on grass in my tennis career.
Oh wait, but let me explain. Let me just so that people know. We were gonna go, but all that had been paid for was the flight. And then Anna was fine with it too. We just were like, whatever, we'll just spend like a couple of days in Manhattan, a couple of days in the Hamptons. We're gonna play some pickle with some people that have like courts at their house and stuff. And like I think he's like the owner of like the Hustlers or something. I don't really know. But then we're gonna come back and hit dinks, and that's it.
That's
So yeah.
sad. That's really sad to me. I said to Anna too when she posted about you not wanting to go to Taylor Swift with her, I was like, I'll go to Taylor Swift. Like, frick James. I don't know ego maniac over here, but I actually am going to Taylor Swift next month.
Have you been to Europe at all?
No, I've never been to Europe.
I hear it's not even that cool.
Excuse me? I want to
That's
go
what
to
I was
Europe.
told.
I want to go to Japan and Korea and like all the tropical places like Bora Bora and Santorini. But those are basic, so I try not to like say those too much because everyone's like, of course. But yeah, I've never been anywhere in Europe, so that'd be really fun. And if I could, I've been to Taiwan like 10 times, and if I could, like if I had no responsibilities, no pickleball, I would literally move to Taiwan and just live there because I
Wow.
am an international superstar there. When I go there, the amount of attention I get is through the roof. I'm like,
Why?
I'm a literal supermodel here. Just saying.
Why do they? Are you sure that's not because you're like the tallest person there, men and women? That could be it.
No, that's actually facts. Like they all go up to my mom and they think I don't understand. Fun fact about me, I understand Russian and I understand Chinese because my mom is Taiwanese and my dad is Ukrainian, for those wondering what my ethnicity is. So I understand both languages, but I don't look that way, right? So people will just talk about me in those respective languages. And I'm like, I understand what you're saying. And they're saying I'm pretty and tall and gorgeous. And it's just so much to handle at once. You know, I'm just
Do
like,
they ever
please
say
stop.
bad stuff?
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
Okay. Not even once. Got it.
Nope. Never.
Because I swear when people are like, like I was in the car with like Staxrud and Pablo Tellez and like they were speaking in some language. I wasn't sure what it was. Spanish, maybe. And they were like, I could have swore they were talking. I always feel like they're just like talking crap about me. Like if people are talking in a different language right there, I'm like, why not just speak English? I don't know. It just kind of messes with me.
This is Piper. It's Rachel's dog. Piper, come say hi.
But we only have 3 minutes on this Zoom recording left, Vivian. I don't know what we should talk about at this point. Is there anything else
No,
you feel like we
well,
should
no,
say?
just to go off of what you were saying, because I was listening, is I feel that way too. When people are talking in their own language, I'm like, but why did you switch from English? You were just talking in English, so you must have some crap to be talking. But no, everything said about me is always positive. The only negative thing, the most negative thing I've gotten was during MLP. I went back and watched my matches, and they were like, "Yeah,
Oh,
I would go to Vivian." What?
you mean the live chat? Like,
No,
did you
I
look
didn't
at the
catch the live
chat?
chat because I'm not really technologically savvy, so I don't know when the stream ends. I don't know how to go back and like look at the chat. But I went back to
Yeah.
like to
Just
hear
don't
what's
look at it. Don't look at the chat. It's not good.
okay. Well, everyone stands me, and I stand them for standing me. So anyway, I went back and listened to what the commentators had to say, and they said, right now, Vivian's looking a little bit shaky, so I would go to her because she's popping up some dinks. And I was like, ooh, knife in the heart. That was the worst thing I've ever heard about me, but
Ever in your life? That's not that bad.
yeah, well, like I said, that one girl who had beef said I was never serious. Like, that's the worst thing I've gotten.
I've had really a lot of worse than that. I've had a lot worse than that, but I can't even.
I actually had some teammates make up things about me, or like say Vivian's not who you think she is, which really got me thinking. I was like, oh, you know who I am, so please tell me, because I don't know, maybe having an identity crisis or something.
I don't know what I think you are. I, I have no idea. I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure you've said every time someone's asked you about me, you're like, she's different. That's the only word you've used. She's really different. And I'm like, what the, is that a good thing?
Only the greats are different. Only
That's true. You gotta be odd to be number one.
That's true. Or number 3 or 5.
Okay, we have less than a minute left. So do whatever you need to do to say thank you for listening and such.
Okay. We only have 40 seconds left or so. Thank you, Vivian, for coming on. And most importantly, thank you for the listeners for bearing with us for this no
No,
preparation.
okay, great.
podcast.
Next time they're gonna ask questions for you to ask your list or like your guest, and it'll be much more structured. This is don't even if you didn't like this podcast, don't comment. Don't say that you didn't like it.
Yeah, no negative comments. Only about me. If it's gonna be negative, make it about me, because that's fine. So, okay. See ya.